Why don't you tell us why you chose the GR Corolla?
I chose it because I thought it was a good upgrade from my previous car, the GR86. I originally wanted the Supra, but the Supra was a little out of my price budget, so this fit right in.
So I do know this is a manual GR Corolla, so why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know, your journey getting the car and not knowing how to drive stick at first?
Well, I actually really want to learn stick, and even though I never knew how to drive it, I still wanted to learn, and I was willing to learn, especially for this car.
Who taught you?
This man right here.
Hey, yes sir. Well, why don't you tell us your future plans with the car?
So I plan on doing like a quote-unquote rally type build. So I'm keeping the ride height as is, so no aftermarket suspension, but I do want to get different wheels, possibly like matte bronze to match it, and then maybe some mud flaps and aero. And as for power, like an intake, a downpipe, and probably a catback as well. And then yeah, I'll probably get all those tuned as well.
Nice. So I know you've only had the car for about a month, but why don't you give us some pros and cons of the car and your brief ownership review?
So some pros is that it's very, I haven't pushed it that much, but it handles very well.
Okay.
The all-wheel drive system is great.
Nice.
Turbo and power, or the turbo is very loud and it has a lot of power. It's also surprisingly comfortable inside, despite having pretty well bolstered seats. And obviously it's practical, it's a hatchback.
Yeah.
Now, it's a pro and a con. It has pretty stiff suspension, so it's great for on the canyons and tracking, but obviously if you're daily driving, it's a little more punishing than usual. But it's still, in my opinion, not so stiff that you can't daily it. So if you're used to driving stiff sports cars, then this is no problem for you. And the manual shifter also feels great. That's another pro. And yeah, I'd say the only con is really maybe the stiffness of it and just how harsh it can be. There's also a good amount of road noise too. But overall, I think it's a great car. Not many cons with it.
What do you get MPG wise? Just wondering.
I think they said it's 21 city and 28 on the highway.
Okay.
This thing does kind of guzzle a lot of gas.
Yeah.
It has pretty short gearing. So when I'm driving on the freeway at 75, it's already at 3,000 RPM.
Okay.
If I go to 80, it's 3,500. So the gas mileage is not the best, but it's the smiles per gallon.
Exactly. I haven't seen too many GR Corollas in person, so it is a treat whenever I see them. This is one of my homies. So first thing off the bat, it is way more aggressive than many people might expect. Just from the side profile, you can see that the fenders are a good amount wider than the base Corolla, obviously, but it's more apparent in the rear. You can see it already bolstering out. Another thing that I noticed is the stock wheel spec's pretty good. It's not exactly flush with the fenders, but it's pretty close. You can't really ask for too much more from a stock wheel, so it looks really good. Another thing is, I would say the car, it looks bigger in person actually than I thought. Also, his tint dark as hell. Damn, see that. But going to the rear, yeah, here it is. It's a really nice looking car. I don't think that there's a lot of, I guess, critiques that I have on its appearance. I think it looks really good. Rear's balanced, the front looks good. It's a good mix of aggression and also just styling. I'm very interested to see how it sounds and also just the driving experience. But yeah, we're gonna get into that right now. So here's the gauge cluster, fully electronic as you'd expect. It's pretty clean in here, I like it. First time in a GR Corolla, so I'm very excited. I'm gonna be listening for the exhaust and also the induction noise. So I know it's dark, but here is the this is how you control kind of the driving settings. And can you say those again?
The drive mode selector, where the power is distributed.
Oh, okay, so it's a power distribution. So since it's an all-wheel drive car, there's gonna be bias based on what mode you're in, but track mode is a 50-50, and then I think front is 30-40 in the rear, or what is it?
So there's 50-50 track.
Yeah.
Just default is 60/40.
Okay.
And then you can go 30/70.
Okay. So you heard it here first. Those are the modes. And we're just gonna get some driving going. Hit some downs. Hopefully you can hear the turbo in the audio, but in person it's pretty loud, so it's a quite enjoyable experience for sure. That was some good driving, sir. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little canyon run. It was a pretty good test run, I would say. I will say the car handles much better than I thought, and the power and the responsiveness of that power is way better than I thought. I don't feel any turbo lag, at least as a passenger. So whatever Toyota did with the power band in this car, they need to keep that up, because I didn't feel any turbo lag. And also the car feels so balanced. We weren't taking it easy. that's nowhere near the limit of this car, but we weren't taking that easy. So it was a pretty good test in terms of like a intermediate driver. Like that's what you can do with the car. Someone that's more advanced, I'm sure they could take it, 10 miles per hour higher, maybe even 20, because the car has a lot of potential. But with this quick little run that we did, I think we tested the car pretty well. Just finished the canyon run and we're just looking under the engine bay to see what it looks like. It's completely stock. This car is completely stock. He has not touched anything yet. But yeah, this is a 3-cylinder 1.6 turbocharged engine. It's very, very capable. I'm very impressed with this car, and I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna put his Instagram in the video description, so make sure to follow him. If you're bad, hit him up. I do know that this is a manual GR86. Oh shit, fuck. Ah, that's a blooper. All right, hold on.